Well, great news for all of you UK cruisers, as we have yet another cruise line that's going to be sailing from the UK in the summer of 2021. What's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon. If you don't already and you want to stay up to date with the latest of cruise news, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Well, over the past week or so, it feels like it's just been one announcement after another as cruise lines continue to announce that they're going to be sailing during the summer over in the UK. Just recently we had P&O and Princess, and P&O actually came out with their itineraries just earlier this week. They're going to be sailing the Britannia and the Iona, Iona is the brand new ship that still has not taken on any passengers because she was delivered about a month into the shutdown starting last year. So it'd be great to see them finally get that ship up and running. But the big talk of this is, of course, that vaccines will be required for P&O cruisers. But of course, at this point in time, not everybody can get their vaccine just yet. And so some people may have been left off this list that are eligible to cruise with P&O. Vaccine cruises are great, but MSC recently just stepped in as of just a day or so ago and said, hey, we're going to get a ship up and running over in the UK also. No vaccines. We haven't required a vaccine over in Italy, and we've been doing fantastic over there. Great to see that MSC stepped in. MSC also just has a very large presence over in the UK anyways. MSC will be sailing a ship that will be determined at a later date. I would guess maybe in the next few days, or maybe next week or so, because they are planning on sailing May 20th of 2021. Another advantage that MSC has compared to P&O and Princess is that they are not doing cruises to nowhere. They said they will be doing ports of call. They will likely be getting group excursions put together, kind of like what they're doing over in Italy, where you can get off the ship if you stay within your tour or your excursion, basically. So you can't really leave the group, you can't go explore the ports, which is of course unfortunate, but given the situation, it's understandable. MSC, of course, has pretty much made a name for themselves over the last year or so, because back in August they got their ship Grandiosa up and running and have pretty much been cruising flawlessly ever since. All of their testing on board, before getting on board, all the health and safety protocols that they've put in place to make sure just to make sure that the virus doesn't get on board, and if it does, the spread is very minimal. So given the success that they've had over in Italy and other places, they have not required vaccines up to this point. Well, because when they first started cruising, there was no vaccines. So to them, they've been just fine without the vaccines, so they're not going to require them because they know what they've put in place is going to work. But I think the big advantage for MSC over P&O is the fact that they are going to be making stops in ports. Doesn't show whether or not they're going to be international cruises, which I don't really think there will be, but they will be stopping probably in other places in the UK or I guess the British Isles. And of course, these protected shore excursions will obviously protect the guests and the crew from bringing anything back on board that maybe they come in contact with on land. But of course, MSC has also said we did not determine which ship will be up and running on May 20th of 2021, but they will make that announcement in the next few days. Now, my guess would probably be one of their newer and bigger ships, of course, because that's the ones that they really want to get going. So maybe like a Seaside class, the Meraviglia class, one of those ships, I'm sure. So some of the rules that will be in place is that all guests have to be tested at least 72 hours before coming into the port, and then they also have to take a test when they get there. From there will also be daily temperature checks, and masks will be worn on board except in designated areas where they can take them off, like the pool and stuff like that. In addition to all the passenger protocols, crew on board will also be required to do a 14-day quarantine, but there is no mention of a crew vaccination like the other cruise lines are putting in place. And again, like I stated earlier, the ship will be sailing out of Southampton doing short cruises as well as week-long cruises, which is very similar to what they're going to be doing over in P&O. The only real difference, like I said earlier, will be that MSC will likely be making stops and stopping in ports and stuff like that, whereas P&O cruises are mainly going to just do basically cruises to nowhere. They're planning on doing like 7-day cruises on P&O that go to nowhere. So an entire cruise without a single port stop sounds a little weird, but of course at this point I think a lot of us just want to start cruising again. So with that being said, that's all for today's video. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Those of you in the UK, I am very happy for you guys that you guys are going to get cruising soon. And let me know what your thoughts are. Are you going to be cruising with P&O or Princess, or are you going to be cruising with MSC? Let me know in the comments. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to stay up to date with all of the latest cruise news, and you don't already, make sure you subscribe down below and hit that notification bell to be notified every time we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.